Hello. Um, just give me a second. I need to finish my bite. Anyway, let's resume where we last ended where we last ended the game. I think we were done with the first investigation, so I'll review the truth bullet real quick. Oh boy. The victim was Sayaka Maizono. Time of death is estimated to be around 1:30 AM. The body was discovered in Makoto's room in the dormitory. The death took place in the bathroom. The cause of death was a stab wound to the abdomen, and her right wrist appears to have been fractured. Okay, so that's body status, I guess. So does it sound fine? Because I left the sound to be actually rather loud, so I'd like some feedback if there is anyone to give me some feedback on how the sound is, like if I should lower the game sound or just lower or up something else. Anyway, the second truth bullet is an evidence of a struggle. There are a number of scratches and gouges on the bed and walls in Makoto's room. Replica sword. Makoto took this from the gym entryway and put it in his room. The sword was found out of its sheath on the floor in the middle of the room. The sword handle was missing some of the gold coating, as was part of the blade. Looked like a sword sheath. Makoto, the sheath was found some distance from the sword itself, and shows evidence of being scratched with a sharp object. On the night of the murder, Makoto and Saiga traded rooms and fingered keys. When the victim was discovered, Makoto's room key was also found in Makoto's room. Saiga originally asked Makoto to switch with her when someone attempted to force their way to her room, and she became frightened. This had been placed in Makoto's room before it arrived. It remains unopened, and there is no evidence of it having ever been used. All the other male students claim that they haven't used theirs either. Still, not a single hair was found on the crime at the scene of the floor at the scene of the crime. The floor at the scene of the crime. In addition, the lint roller shows evidence of being used. Saiga's right wrist had been fractured and her wrist was literally at the injury's location. In addition, her hands appeared to be completely clean except for the index finger of her left hand, which has some blood on it. Okay, next. A series of numbers had been written in blood on Makoto's bathroom wall, 11037. It is assumed that Sayaka wrote those numbers while leaning up against the wall as she lay dying. Makoto's bathroom door was difficult to open due to it not quite fitting in the door frame properly. The only two people who knew the trick to opening the door were Makoto, the room's owner, and Sayaka, the victim. Give me a minute. There we go. Makoto's bathroom doorknob had been broken. The screws holding it in place had been partially or completely removed. The nameplates on the doors to Sayaka and Makoto's rooms were apparently switched at some point. That's still something I don't understand. Unless Sayaka willingly switched the dome plates, I think it is. Nameplates. The kitchen in the dining hall has a set of kitchen knives. Apparently, one of the knives had gone missing. Okay. Always account. The knife from the kitchen went missing while Hina was in the dining hall. Hina swears that Makoto did not come to the dining hall at any point while she was there. It's apparently a trash room within the school. It's blocked off by a sturdy gate that can only be opened with the trash room key. The incinerator can be activated via a switch on the machine. Hifumi was on cleaning duty and he claims that the last time he saw the incinerator it was off. However, when Makoto checked it after the incident, the incinerator was in fact on. The distance from the gate to the incinerator is roughly 30 feet. I do not know how much matters that is, but it seems to be quite a lot, especially given the distance. A piece of burnt clothing was found next to the incinerator in the trash room. It is apparently part of the shirt cuff and it has a noticeable blood stain on it. And the final truth bullet is the shattered crystal ball. Shards of glass were found next to the incinerator in the trash room. As it turns out, the glass ball would have fit comfortably in the palm of a person's hand. Apparently, Yasuhiro left the ball in the laundry room on accident, so anyone could have come along and taken it. Actually, as a measure of security, I'm gonna lower the sound because it's actually very loud. I'll turn it up in case someone wants me to. Okay, that's it for the truth bullets. Let's go. I think we had to go through this red door, so I'm just gonna go there. Yo! You're late, Makoto. We've all been waiting for you. I bet you were afraid you would be discovered as the murderer you are.
Listen to me!
Let's not jump to conclusions just yet. Save that for the class trial. There we can all reveal the details of Makoto's crime. So they really are convinced I did it, but I didn't do it. Me and Saika both know that all too well. But then who is the killer? The one who murdered Saika. Is it really one of us?
Is everyone here? Okay then. Please board the elevator in front of you, which will transport you to the courtroom, where all your fate will be decided. I'll meet you all down there. I'll be waiting.
Let's just go straight in the elevator.
Well then.
Let us begin.
Yes, indeed.
Good idea.
Hey,
Are you scared? No, scared isn't quite right.
Makoto.
I said it before, but it's up to you to uncover the mysteries surrounding this case yourself. If you don't, you'll never come to grips with the truth. I need to uncover the truth of Saika's death. I didn't need someone else to tell me to do that. In Saika's honor, I swear I'll find out who the real killer is. As I raised my voice to try and give myself courage, I turned, trembling with anticipation, towards the elevator. With each step forward, I could feel my heart starting to race faster and faster. Everyone else was already on the elevator. When I finally stepped on, the doors closed and the elevator started to move. Steel blocks descended with heavy clunking sounds toward the the school's basement. I wonder if this is how a death row inmate feels when his time finally comes.
Oh,
Rather than that, is it not more like a defendant waiting to receive his judgment? Oblivious to our shared anxiety, the elevator lowered us further and further into the bowels of the school. The bowels, I think, of the school. You finally arrived! What do you think? Doesn't it feel just like a real courtroom? It's like a Hollywood movie set, right? Not even close. It's still shit.
Well now.
Okay, everyone find your assigned seats and sit down.
Yahoo!
Hurry up now, hurry up. We did what he said and found our seats. The seats were arranged in a giant circle. It was set up so that everyone could see everyone else, which also meant it'd be easy for anyone to transfer their attention and unease onto anyone else. The air seemed to grow heavy as we sat there. And so the curtain on our first gaze opened. A deadly judgment, a deadly deception, a deadly betrayal, a deadly riddle, a deadly defense, a deadly faith, a deadly class trial. Oh boy. Let's save the data. Alright, set skills. I think we have one. That's not much, but that's at least... That's more than nothing, I guess. Better than nothing. Having nothing. Increases damage to the opponent when a statement is destroyed. Effective during the bullet time battle. Cost 3 HP. I don't have anything else, so let's just go. I think we're pretty much set with reviewed on the shoot bullet, so yeah, let's go.
Let's begin with a basic explanation of the class trial. So, your votes will determine the results. If you can figure out who done it, then only they will receive punishment. But if you pick the wrong one, then I'll punish everyone besides the blackened, and the one that deceived everyone else will graduate.
And the killer really is one of us, right?
Oh, it's voiced? Fully voiced? That's a bug in my books.
Of course!
Okay then. Everyone, close your eyes. And whoever did it, raise your hand.
Don't be a goddamn idiot. Why the hell would they raise their hand?
Before we move on and start the trial, can I ask a question real quick? What's going on with those pictures?
I'd feel awful if they got left out just because they died. Friendship penetrates even death's barrier. Friendship penetrates?
Oh god.
okay. But what about that other empty seat? There were only 15 of us to begin with, so why are there 16 seats?
Celeste's voice actress is very good.
Oh, no
I think-
reason. It's just that our little courtroom here can technically fit up to 16 people. Okay, that about does it for the preamble. Get ready to get started. First up is the case summary. Now, let the class trial begin.
It's about to begin the debate to decide who we think the killer is. Anything I found, anything I noticed, I have to be ready to speak up about everything. Because this isn't just about me, everyone's lives are on the line. If a non-stop debate is about to begin, would you like to hear more? Absolutely, I do not know how to play this game. Yes, things progress during each class trial, you will engage in a number of non-stop debates. During these discussions, characters will speak one after another without pause. It's up to you to unearth any lies or contradiction buried within their statements. What this means is that you will have to use your truth bullets to refute what they say. Oh. Any relevant truth bullet you found during your investigation will be loaded into the truth cylinder. Cylinder or cylinder? I go with cylinder, I guess. Use the mouse to aim and then fire with the left mouse button. Oh, it's not too hard, I guess. Pay close attention to each character's statements and use the truth bullets to blast the right ones. Note that if you run out of time, you will automatically fail, so please be careful. If you press the escape key during these arguments, you can review the controls. Well then, good luck and have fun. Thank you, narrator. Evidence of a struggle. Okay.
I assert that the one who was murdered was Miss Sayaka Maizono!
Yeah, we know that part already.
And the murder took place in Makoto's room.
In the bathroom. So it seems most likely that the killer must have taken her by surprise while she was in the bathroom.
That's not true.
She didn't even have a chance to resist.
That's not true.
No, that's wrong.
Just a second, Chihiro. Try to remember how my room looked. With the way things had been damaged, I think we can definitely assume there was a struggle.
A struggle? Between who and who?
Between Sayaka and the killer, of course.
So you're saying Sayaka wasn't caught by surprise in the bathroom? She must have been attacked in the main room first. Then, she ran to the bathroom to try and hide. The killer followed her in, and that's where they finished the job.
That much should have been obvious after taking one look at the scene. It shouldn't even need explaining.
Sorry.
Okay, so what's next?
Next is the subject of the murder weapon.
Wow, this is starting to sound like a real trial.
I mean, it is a real trial. Someone's gonna get executed. Or all of us. We need to determine what was used to kill Sayaka. Wait, isn't that obvious? Yeah, it's the kitchen knife set. It's the knife from the kitchen set.
So what was used to kill her?
There was some kind of sharp object thrust into her stomach. Without a doubt, that is the murder weapon!
So the killer used some random knife they had on him.
Oh, not just
No,
any
that's
random
wrong.
knife.
No. I do think it was a knife, but not just any knife. I'm almost positive it was a kitchen knife.
Huh? A kitchen knife?
After the murder, we discovered that one of the knives from the kitchen was missing.
Which means that knife must be the murder weapon.
Oh, yeah. I guess that makes sense. You could sort of see the weapon sticking out of her stomach. And if you look real close, I could totally see that being a kitchen knife.
Okay, so the murder weapon was a kitchen knife, but where does that get us? I mean, we all know Makoto killed her, right?
That's right. Makoto's room was the scene of the crime. What more proof do you need?
Hold on a second.
Let's draw our conclusions after we presented our arguments. Otherwise, what's the point of the trial?
Well, we can talk all we want. It's not going to change that conclusion.
I don't think that's true at all. I'm sure if we keep at it, something new will reveal itself.
You really believe that?
She's right. There's gotta be a breakthrough somewhere, just waiting for us to find it. Because I know damn well I'm not the killer. Or yes, absolutely. Concentrate by holding down the base key, space key, space. Okay, so you aim, make it easier to target potential spot. Okay. Oh, is it count? Okay.
So I guess there's no question that the kitchen knife was the murder weapon. But where does that get us?
Makoto must have taken it from the kitchen, right? He did it in secret.
When nobody was in the dining hall.
That's wrong.
No, that's wrong.
I mean, Makoto never put that.
Okay, wait. Hold on. I didn't take the knife from the kitchen.
Next, you're gonna say you're not the killer, right? Go ahead and say it all you want.
I'm not the killer.
Well, what if I have a witness? What do you think, Hina?
Huh?
Remember what you were telling me earlier?
I went to go get some tea from the kitchen last night and all the knives were still there. But when I finished my tea and went back into the kitchen to wash my glass, one of the knives was gone. So you're saying the knife disappeared while you were drinking your tea in the dining hall? So I need to make sure of something. Okay. Yeah.
Just to be perfectly clear, the knife disappeared while you were in the dining hall, correct?
Yeah, that's right.
And at any point while you were there, did you ever see me come into the dining hall?
No, I don't think so.
You don't think so?
No, he definitely wasn't there.
The knife disappeared while Hina was in the dining hall. But I wasn't there the entire time. In other words, there's no way I could have taken the knife.
Okay, then what about this? What if the idiot swimmer girl and Makoto are in on it together, and lying to protect each other?
Idiot swimmer girl? Oh, and more importantly, why would I get involved in something like that?
Speaking of which, I'd like to ask the bear, if there is an accomplice, do they also become blackened?
So you ask, and so I shall answer. Each murder is allowed to have an accomplice, but only the one who does the killing will get to graduate.
So in other words, two people can work together, but one of them has no chance of profiting from it.
That's interesting. I should keep that in mind later on. I'm sure it's gonna be helpful later on.
Then there's no way anyone would work together, right?
But what if they did work together, and they just didn't know about the rule?
Good grief! Enough already! No, okay? There are no accomplices in this case! Oops! Did I say that out loud?
Anyway, I didn't go to the dining hall, and I didn't take the knife. So I'm not the killer.
Okay, so then, who did take the knife? Hina seems the obvious candidate. After all, she just said she was in the dining hall. No way! I swear it wasn't me!
Sure, but can you or anyone else prove that? I can.
That's right! Sakura was with me the entire time I was drinking my tea.
I hate to have to ask, but just to be sure, Sakura's...
Me.
Right.
But then, couldn't either one of them have grabbed the knife?
Actually, no. Because, well...
Just spit it out already.
I stayed in Hina's room last night.
I got so scared thanks to those creepy videos. I wasn't really thinking, I just asked her to stay over. Which means we have airtight alibis.
You stayed over? Doesn't that violate one of the school regulations?
I don't think it does. It's just you. As long as you sleep in a dormitory room, you should be fine, right?
We're not allowed to sleep anywhere but the dorms, but it doesn't say we have to stay in our assigned room. So, I don't think that's a problem.
It is a problem! A boy and a girl
Oh,
spending
God.
the night together? It's unwholesome!
Does he know?
But I'm a girl.
You are? Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry!
Okay, it's fine. It's fine. He didn't get kicked in the head or smashed in the concrete for it.
But if it wasn't either of you, then what other possibility is there?
Actually, there is one other possibility. Right, Hina?
Oh, yeah, that's true! One other person did come to the dining hall while we were there.
Oh, then that changes everything, I guess.
Why didn't you say so in the first place?
Well, because they're not here anymore.
Someone who's not here, are you talking about?
Sayaka.
Oh god.
She's the one who came to the dining hall. And then later, she wound up dead.
Uh-oh. Sayaka? Okay, so the person who took the knife from the kitchen knife has to be Sayaka. I mean, Hina and Sakura can testify that neither of them took the knife of the kitchen set. And Monokuma said he wouldn't interfere unless school regulation was violated, which there was no report of. So it has to be Sayaka.
I got it! Then, Sayaka is the one who took the knife?
That's the only possibility. And thinking back on it, she was acting kind of unusual. When she came into the dining hall, she didn't even look at us. She just went straight to the kitchen. As she left, she said she just wanted a drink of water. But most likely...
Oh, I'm sorry, I think I hit my mic.
And the person who took the knife was the victim herself!
I'm sure she just took it for self-defense.
So you're saying the knife she took was then taken from her, and she was killed with it?
Seems plausible.
In that case, you may not have taken the knife, but you still could have killed her.
What?
See? He did do it after all!
No, you're wrong!
So, that's how you would twist the argument and send us all off in the wrong direction? You possess a most
This
terrifying
is bad,
talent.
but at the same time, damn, if I don't do something, they're gonna blame me for the murder. Don't they understand? If they convict me, everyone's gonna die.
Hold on. It's still too early to decide conclusively that Makoto is the killer, wouldn't you say? Because you see, if the room did belong to the killer, then they did something most bewildering.
Oh yeah, the doorknob. I think.
And until we unravel that little mystery, you simply can't declare that he's the killer.
Bewildering? What the hell are you talking about?
Something was missing from the scene of the crime that by all rights should have been there.
Oh. Oh, perhaps is she talking about the...
You know what I'm talking about, don't you?
What's it called? I don't know. This Hangman's Gambit is about to begin. Would you like to hear more? Yes, I do. Something is events further in the class trial. The Hangman's Gambit will eventually take place. The point of this is to reveal an important phrase related to the incident question. You have to deduce the phrase from the letters flying around and the letters already known. Complete the phrase by shooting down the flying letters in the right order. Use the mouse to aim. Press the left button to shoot the desired letters. Shoot down the wrong letters, you'll suffer damage to influence cog. If this cog reaches 0, or if you run out of time you fail, well then look at thank you. Something that should have been at this scene but wasn't, that must be the crucial point. If you can just figure out what that something is. Let's see, H. Oh, this is I think. Okay, we're good. Yeah.
Now I understand!
was kind of obvious given the letters.
That's right! There wasn't a single hair on the floor!
But yeah, there's no hair on the floor and the lint roller was used.
So, the culprit removed some evidence?
Yes, and if I were the culprit, why would I need to get rid of all the hair in my own room? It wouldn't be unusual at all to find my hair at the crime scene if the crime scene is in my room.
The reason all the hair was gone was to remove any trace that Sayaka had ever been there.
I don't think so. I think it's actually the killer who did the rolling.
That makes sense, does it not?
No. If that were the case, they would have had to do something about the body itself, not just her hair.
Ha ha ha! Yes, very true, very true!
Okay, then why wasn't there any hair on the ground?
The killer got rid of it all, of course, to remove any trace that they had ever been there.
Yeah, that seemed obvious.
Wait, then that means...
Precisely. It's simply beyond reason to believe that the room's owner and the killer are one and the same.
I mean, if I were the killer and if I did murder someone, in this particular scenario, I probably wouldn't have thought of it, but I think it's still a good idea. Because then it would make sense
Then Makoto isn't the culprit?
for me to clean the air in my own room or my own apartment, because it's swirly, it doesn't make sense.
Are you sure we can decide something so important based solely on the absence of some hair?
No. There are other reasons that prove why Makoto couldn't have done it.
I would like to hear these reasons.
Do you remember anything remarkable about the bathroom at the scene? Sayaka was attacked in the main room first, then fled into the bathroom, right?
Yeah, then they ran after her, got into the bathroom, and stabbed her.
And how did the killer get into the bathroom? Did they have any trouble with it?
What do you mean?
It's fairly certain that the killer had some trouble getting into the bathroom. There was clear evidence left behind. Do you remember,
Oh,
Makoto?
now she's talking about the doorknob. The struggle getting into the bathroom, and the evidence that proves it is the object the killer broke. It's the doorknob, I think.
I got it! Evidence that the killer had trouble getting into the bathroom. You're talking about the doorknob, right?
Huh? The doorknob? What doorknob?
The doorknob for my bathroom. It was completely broken. See how the top part was unscrewed? And the doorknob's about ready to fall off?
Oh yeah, true. But what does it mean?
In trying to bypass the lock, they ended up nearly removing the entire doorknob. This is another most bewildering act for the room's owner. It proves Makoto is beyond suspicion.
So what? You're saying he wouldn't break the door in his own room? But if the only choice you have is to break it, you break it. There's nothing bewildering about it.
You still don't see? Okay then.
I mean, the killer obviously didn't know it was a boys' room, so he just assumed. It's my opinion. Yeah, it's my thought about this. He just assumed he was in the girls' room, and we were told that the girls had a lock on the bathroom's door. So he just thought there was a lock, and there wasn't any. And
Let's
just
take another look at how the incident unfolded.
went,
Hopefully that will help you
Yeah.
understand.
tried to get rid of the lock, but there wasn't any. Just ended up almost unscrewing entirely the doorknob. You said it was a bewildering act. I almost didn't notice it at first, but what's the keyboard here? Yes. Start going up. Oh boy. Essentially, only one line of contradiction that debate. One thing to say is not always, but you see are necessarily false. Truth but on the wrong one, then not only will you fail to refute what they said, you also lower your trust with them. They're one and your friend's cog will take damage. No, this is important, yeah, because if the pressure is zero. You have to rely on your own logic to determine which weak spots are actually lies or contradictions. Like, let's go, let's do this. Bathroom door 3.
The incident took place in Makoto's room. Sayaka was first attacked in the main room. She then fled into the bathroom.
Then the killer ran after her. And they got into the bathroom.
At that point, the killer had to try and bust down the door, because Sayaka had locked it.
And finally, the culprit had Sayaka cornered.
And to finish the job, they stabbed her with the...
It was
Oh, you can
you,
press control.
wasn't it, Makoto?
And we already know the answer.
You can fast forward with control key.
The incident took place in Sayaka was
so it has
first, she
to
then
be-
fled into the...
Then the killer ran and they got into the back. At that point, the killer had...
Because Sayaka had locked it.
And finally,
Oh my god!
the culprit had Sayaka cornered.
To finish the job.
It was you! We already know the answer.
Okay,
The
let's do it
incident
again.
took place. Sayaka was first, she then fled into the...
Then the killer ran and they got into the back. At that point,
The killer had to try and... Because Sayaka had locked it.
Okay, we're good.
No, that's wrong. The reason my bathroom didn't open wasn't because it was locked.
Because it didn't fit.
After all, the girls' rooms are the only ones with locking bathrooms, right?
Yes, now that you mention it, that is true.
Then why didn't your bathroom door open?
Because it was stuck.
Huh? What are you talking about?
My bathroom door doesn't fit in the frame quite right. Monokuma over there can testify to that.
Yep, true as true can be. But you know, you're supposed to be the ultimate lucky student, right? But to have such a cruddy door... That's not lucky at all!
I mean, in this case, it is lucky, kind of.
So the reason the door didn't open was just because it was stuck. But the killer didn't know that and assumed it was locked. So they tore apart the doorknob to get in.
Okay, but then why would the killer even think the door was locked in the first place? Everyone should have known you can't lock any of the boys' bathrooms.
Entre Dieu, c'est très- Ouais, bah ouais. C'est un souci.
The killer could easily make that mistake, thanks to one important detail about the scene of the crime.
The killer was convinced the bathroom door was locked. So they didn't know that the door actually couldn't be locked. Ton micro est pas mal bas. Je sais, et malheureusement je peux rien y faire, je peux juste baisser le son du jeu. C'est... tac. Et il est déjà bas de toute façon, donc... je peux juste baisser... Attends. Voilà, là normalement je parle plus fort que le jeu. Normalement, j'espère. Ouais, background music volume et CFX volume c'est au minimum. Je peux descendre encore le voice volume par contre. Du coup, bah, je vais continuer comme ça, je pense. In other words, the important detail about the scene of the crime that they didn't know was that the crime took place in my room.
I got it! The killer must not have realized that it was my room.
What? Are you saying the culprit didn't even know where he was? That's inconceivable!
I mean, the nameplates were changed, so it's not that inconceivable.
And yet, he's absolutely right.
Say what?
Well, to be more specific, what the killer didn't know was that Makoto and Sayaka had switched rooms. Which is what led to the misunderstanding about the bathroom. If Sayaka had been in her own room, then...
Then there would have been a lock on the door, and they would have had to break through!
So they had no idea how unnecessary their actions were.
Ultimately, we can't know if it came open by force or simply by accident. But the killer must have been considerably confused, with no idea how they actually got the door open.
Regardless, it was a pointless act. Wasting time trying to break down a door that wasn't locked is...
Definitely something I wouldn't do, since I would have known exactly why it wasn't opening, right?
I mean, it is not. It would be confusing for the killer if they didn't know it was a voice room.
That is a definite possibility.
So the killer would have to be someone who didn't know they'd switched rooms?
Then Makoto couldn't have done it.
That's what I've been trying to tell you.
Okay, then who did do it?
I'm sorry, but I give up. Quit without saving.
Okay.
But what happens if we can't decide on who we think did it?
Well, why don't we just vote right now? Majority rules.
That's not how it works. I mean, that's how it works,
That's
but
a good idea.
Yeah, our necks are on the line here. Someone seriously needs to do something. For serious.
Does no one have any other thoughts or questions? It does not matter how trivial they may seem.
Oh, as a matter of fact, I do have one question.
bless you, Hina.
Oh, you.
That's, I mean.
You don't gotta sound so disappointed.
It's fine, it's fine. Just ask your question.
Oh yeah. Okay, so,
Okay, out with it.
well, I was just wondering, how did the culprit get into Makoto's room in the first place?
Yes. How did the killer get inside?
That's true. We don't really have anything that clearly indicates how the killer got
Maybe
into my room.
Sayaka
I mean,
just dropped the key
Makoto's room.
somewhere and the culprit picked it up. That's possible, right?
I don't think so. That seems way too convenient.
Then maybe someone picked the lock?
Negative! If you remember, Monokuma made it quite clear that the locks are all unpickable.
Fine. How about this? The killer got in the easy way. They could have knocked and said they wanted to talk or something, and Miss Maizono just let him in.
That could be a possibility, but
No, that can't be it either.
yeah, Makoto told Sayaka to not open to anyone.
Oh, trying to argue against me? Sounds like someone doesn't know his place.
That's condescending, sir. You have to stop right here.
Hello? Why exactly can't that be it?
Because she asked me to do something particular because of how frightened she was. That's the answer right here. But there's no way Sayaka let someone in because they switched rooms.
I got it! Because Sayaka was already scared, remember? That's why she asked me to switch rooms in the first place.
QE. Same goes for you, Sayaka. No matter who it is, don't open your door for anyone. Even if I'm sure it's you, I absolutely won't open it. Otherwise, what's the point in even switching?
Knowing what she'd been through, I just can't believe she would have opened the door for anyone.
What if her being scared was a lie?
Huh?
That's a possibility, and I might not want to admit it.
Well, what the hell is that supposed to mean? Why would she lie about something like that?
I know you don't want to consider it, but look at this and tell me. Can you still deny the possibility?
There's something I want to talk to you about, just us two. In 5 minutes, come see me in my room. Check the nameplates to make sure you don't get the wrong room, okay?
I found a notepad during my search, and I shaded in the top sheet with a pencil.
Uh-oh.
And these are the words that appeared.
Oh man! I've totally seen people do that on detective shows.
I mean, kind of same, but I don't remember that
When you write,
at all.
it can leave an imprint. Sketch over the next sheet of paper, and you can see the words. When I saw that, I was like, holy crap! I better make sure I rip the paper out before I use it from now on.
It's a pretty old-fashioned technique, But even the classics can be surprisingly useful sometimes. Oh, and I should also mention, I found the notepad on the desk in Makoto's room.
Huh?
Which means only someone who had been in Makoto's room before the incident could have written it.
There aren't many choices.
Then either it was Makoto who lived there, or Sayaka who switched rooms for a single night.
So, Makoto, did you write this?
No, I didn't. But
Of course you didn't, because the note also bears a perfectly legible signature. Sayaka's signature.
Oh boy. Then that note, Sayaka wrote it?
but why? Why would she write that?
The note was likely her way of getting in touch with a certain someone. She must have slid it under their door to let them know she wanted to meet with them in secret.
If you got an invitation like that from the ultimate pop sensation, what young man could resist?
I mean, she'd be cute though, so probably no one.
Of course, I'm only into 2D, so it wouldn't have any effect on me.
Shut up, weeb.
But can we be sure anyone even got this note? And honestly, even if they did, I do not think they are at all involved in what happened.
Not sure about that girl.
Huh? What makes you say that? Would you like to hear what I have to say? Very well then, pay attention.
I'm scared. Kind of. Dome nameplates, okay.
Sayaka and Makoto switched rooms, correct? But in the note, the place they were asked to come to, it specifically says, my room.
I see. So if someone read that note, then they would have gone to Sayaka's room.
Don't think so.
Exactly. The room that Makoto was staying in.
No, that's wrong because we had switched rooms and the nameplates were changed as well.
The nameplates on Mai and Sayaka's rooms got switched.
Yeah.
They got switched?
That's right. The nameplates got switched, just like the rooms themselves. As a result, the nameplate on Sayaka's room actually had Makoto's name. And the nameplate on Makoto's room had Sayaka's.
So what you're saying is, the room Sayaka was staying in was actually marked as her room.
Then, if someone did do what the note said, they would end up at Makoto's room where Sayaka was.
Plus, their rooms are right next to each other, so switching the nameplates would be no problem.
Insert a new rule where you cannot switch the nameplates of the dorms.
And the one who switched the names was... Well, of course it wasn't you, right, Makoto?
Right.
Okay, then who did it?
There's only one person who could have switched the nameplates. The only other person who knew we had switched rooms was Sayaka, of course. The killer didn't know, and we did
Me
too,
and
but
Sayaka were the only ones who ever knew about us switching rooms.
yeah, that's the issue.
So the only other person besides me who would even know to switch the nameplates was Sayaka.
You can also infer as much from her note.
Something I want to talk to you about, just as to, in 5 minutes, come see me in my room. Check the nameplates to make sure you don't get the wrong room, okay?
She specifically tells the reader to check the nameplate. She would only have written that if she knew the nameplates had been switched.
But why would she switch them in the first place?
She wanted someone to come to the room she was in, and also hide the fact that it was Makoto's room.
What?
Inviting someone to your room, but not telling them you'd switched rooms. Why would anyone do that?
To understand that, we first need to understand what happened after she invited the person into the room.
That makes sense.
That's where the answer lies.
What happened then was probably whoever she invited over came in and attacked her.
That's possible. But since she had the kitchen knife set on her, technically, since we established that she had she did take the kitchen knife set from her kitchen knife from the set in the kitchen. So from this point, we can assume that she had a knife on her. So it could be she attacked her visitor.
We figured it out! We know who did it! Whoever she invited over is the culprit!
But we still don't know who it is, you goddamn idiot!
Sayaka fought with her killer there in the room, yes? Perhaps the answer to our previous question lies in that initial struggle.
Yes, I think you're right.
Then... we just have to figure out what happened during the fight, right?
That reminds me. There was a replica sword at the murder scene. Was that perhaps used during the fight?
Oh yeah. What's the deal with that sword?
I think it was brought. If I recall correctly, it was brought for self-defense.
Sayaka suggested I should hold on to it. I thought it might come in handy if I had to defend myself. It seems pretty likely that the killer used it to break Sayaka's right wrist.
How the hell could you possibly know that's what broke her wrist?
The reason I know Sayaka's wrist was broken with the fake sword is because when you look at her wrist, there's no doubt. What do I have to present here? I think I have to present the sword. I'm sorry, it's just making sense.
Shoot.
Oh, whoops. I'm an idiot sometimes. I guess you just have to present the wrist. I mean, Sayaka's wrist.
I got it.
That was that simple.
All you have to do is
an
take
idiot.
a good look at her broken wrist, and it should become pretty clear. Right there where her wrist is all swollen, there's something glittery there. See?
Is that gold?
It sure is. Specifically, the gold coating from the replica sword. You barely have to touch that stuff, and it'll stick right to you. And there's some on her wrist because...
I got it! Because she got hit with the sword! Right there on her wrist!
Could be anything really.
I see. And so the truth draws ever closer.
Alright, then it's about time to solve this mystery.
What happened in my room? Well, that's Sayaka's death. That's what we need to make clear. Bit more, yeah, I guess. Constant loading multiple truth bullet. Oh no. One of those bullets can actually reveal the proper statement. In other words, from here on out, you'll have to combine the red truth bullets with the right weak spot to refute each statement. If you come up with the wrong combination, you'll take damage to your first card. You can press the A key to rotate the cylinder and choose which bullet to fire. Press and release the A key. Cycle through each bullet, or you can just use the mouse wheel. Okay. Okay, I see. Replica sword sheath, kitchen knife set, replica sword.
When the fighting broke out, the culprit grabbed the sword, and that's when the first blow was dealt. A sword-based sneak attack.
And that's what broke Miss Maizono's wrist.
So, she tried to fight back. She grabbed the kitchen knife she had hidden away.
But then the culprit took that from her too.
And they killed her with it.
And that's exactly what happened.
I'm just gonna go with the sheath.
Grabbed the sword, and that's when the first blow was dealt. A sword-based sneak attack.
Okay, good. Perfect, actually.
Actually, no. I don't think the fight started with the sword.
Why not?
Because the sword's sheath had been scratched. See? There's a gash in it. Like someone cut into it with something sharp.
Something sharp? You mean like the kitchen knife? That was the only sharp thing found at the scene.
Stop jumping ahead. Slow down and explain it so I get what the hell's going on.
I think basically the kitchen knife was used to damage the sheath.
If the sword was used first, there wouldn't be any explanation for the scratch on the sheath. If you were going to attack with the sword, you'd take it out of the sheath first, right?
That's true. With the sheath on, it'd be heavy and bulky and useless as shit.
Yeah, true.
Okay, so how did the sheath get damaged?
If they got attacked with the kitchen knife, maybe they grabbed the sword as a defensive impulse. In that situation, there wouldn't be any time to actually unsheath the sword.
So you're saying the sword was initially used to defend against an attack from the knife?
Which means whoever had the kitchen knife was the one who attacked first.
Uh-oh.
I think I get it. So here's how it all played out. The culprit came in, found the kitchen knife hidden there somewhere. Then they took the knife and attacked Sayaka before she knew what was happening. So she grabbed the sword to defend herself. But then the culprit took that from her too.
Could be possible. It could also be the other way around.
Then, after they broke her wrist with the sword, they took the knife and finished it.
Sorry, but I don't think Sayaka used the sword to defend herself.
What? How the hell can you not think that?
Because she never held the sword at all. There's a certain part of her body that makes this clear.
Certain part, it should be... I think... There's the part of the body that shows she never used the sword. If you wanted to use a sword, which part of your body would have to touch it? Her palm?
I got it! You're talking about her palms, right? The palms of her hands were perfectly clean, so I don't think she ever picked up the sword.
How can you know that just by looking at her palms?
Like I said before, the gold coating on that sword comes right off. All you have to do is touch it. In fact, if you look, you'll notice that a lot of the gold has already come off the handle. It's safe to assume that's because whoever used the sword got some of it on their hands. There's really no way she could have picked it up and come away completely clean.
Maybe she washed her hands after she escaped into the bathroom.
No,
Sorry, but I don't
the
think
water
so.
is out at nighttime.
Why do you say that? Is it because you think I'm ugly?
Not really. I mean, kind of, but not really as well.
No, that's not it at all.
There's always like I washed the gold coating off her hands because there's a certain regulation that talks about what happens to bathrooms at night. The water was off.
According to the Monokuma file, Sayaka's time of death was around 1:30 a.m. In other words, at nighttime. And the water in the bathroom shuts off at nighttime, right?
Oh, I didn't know that. Actually, I haven't taken a shower here yet.
What the?
Oh my.
Yeah. That's my reaction now.
You're no different. You smell like a big fat ugly donkey.
Hmm? I'm not sure whether to take that as an insult or a compliment.
Bruh.
An insult, obviously.
So anyway, if Sayaka never touched the sword, then that means the killer is the only one who used the sword. But hold on. If that's right, then the one who damaged the sheath with the kitchen knife was...
The one who damaged the sheath would had to have been the one without the sword, so it's Sayaka. Has to be her.
She had the kitchen knife?
But we already said that the attack started with...
The person with the knife attacked first, and the sword was used as an impromptu defense.
Then the one who attacked first was... Sayaka?
Uh-oh.
Now do you understand? She wasn't a blameless victim in this.
No, far from it. It's almost as if she'd been planning to commit a murder of her own.
What?
She took the knife from the kitchen, then invited the culprit to the room she was staying in. And if it's true that she had the kitchen knife and attacked without provocation...
Indeed. These are all the actions of an assailant.
Oh my god.
Which brings up another point. Makoto, Sayaka was the one who suggested you two switch rooms, correct? Maybe the reason she wanted to switch rooms was so that she could pin the crime on you. That is a possibility.
Oh
is it
my
not?
god.
Sayaka wanted to... on me?
That would also explain why she would switch the nameplates. She wanted to get whoever she had targeted to come to Makoto's room where she was staying. And by committing the murder there, instead of her room, that would implicate Makoto. But for that to work, the target had to be lured out while still keeping the room swap a secret. If the target knew she had switched rooms, they would have become suspicious right away.
So all that's why she switched the names?
My god, I can't believe Sayaka actually planned them to murder someone. I mean, she was desperate to get out because of her dream, but that's kind of messed up if I do say so myself.
But doesn't that plan seem a little risky? For one thing, even if her plan worked, Mr. Naegi would just tell everyone they'd switched rooms.
I don't know. I'm not sure our soft-hearted Makoto is capable of that kind of cutthroat behavior. I'm sure Sayaka realized the same thing, which is why out of all of us, she asked him to switch rooms.
Plus, she was the ultimate pop sensation. A totally forgettable kid. Or a national superstar. Who are you more likely to believe?
Wait, then you're saying she had this all planned out?
Holy shit!
But in the end, her plan backfired. She launched her attack with the knife, then found herself under attack in turn. That must be when her wrist got broken, and she was forced to drop the knife.
The tables were suddenly turned on her, and she died at the hands of the one she'd planned to murder.
Just hold on! That can't be true! Because... Hey! You guys have totally derailed the argument!
My god.
You're being super boring right now. Come on, hurry up and decide who did it.
There's still so much to talk about. There's so many truth bullets we haven't used yet.
Just because you ran out of time.
Oh yeah, we gotta decide who we think did it.
Makoto, right now you just need to concentrate on figuring out the answer to this mystery. If we can't uncover who murdered Sayaka, it's over for all of us.
Is it really all over? Obviously I'm committed to finding out who killed her, but what can I do? I mean, as clues go, there's nothing left. I guess we have to obtain a slip of the tongue from someone. Dying message.
It's easy just to say, hey, decide who did it. But there just aren't any more clues, right?
Very well. Then let's review all the clues we've found up to this point one more time.
Do we really have time for all that?
Die! Die!
That's mean.
If we don't do something, we're all gonna die!
There's still one clue left, I'm sure of it. It's like I stood on the wall she was leaning up against. Yeah, so that made it
just to say, hey,
obvious.
decide, but there just aren't any more clues, right?
There is one, I guess.
There still might be one clue left. Sayaka's dying message.
Dining? Wait, what did you say?
The dying message. She wrote something on the wall behind her, remember? 11037. Written in her own blood. There must be a clue about the killer hidden in there.
Well, before we get too far into that, I need to ask, can we really be sure that Sayaka is the one who wrote it?
Didn't she have blood on her left index? There's no question Sayaka read that message, I can prove it. Left index finger.
Got it! Her left index finger had blood on it. That could only be because she used that finger to write the message.
I see. She broke her right wrist during the fight, so she'd have to use her left hand to write.
Sure. I think we can all agree Sayaka wrote it. But still, what the heck do those numbers mean? 11037?
Hey, Chihiro. You're a computer nerd or whatever, right? You should know all about numbers and shit.
No, that's not... Yes, I'm a programmer, but I don't see any kind of meaning in these numbers.
That's sad. She probably would have been the only person to know about it.
Of course. It's because they're not numbers.
Huh?
Oh, yeah, it looks like...
Huh? What? What?
No, it's just... look at the numbers, assuming they're not numbers. Don't these first two, 1-1, look less like two numbers and more like one letter?
Ah, you're right. The connecting line is barely there, so I assumed it was 1-1, but looking at it now, you could also read it as an N.
Oh no.
Whoa, you might have finally just said something worth a shit.
Our little gray cells are really
Oh my god.
excited now.
Why? Not
But
him.
even if that really is an N037 doesn't make any more sense than before.
On the contrary, I mean, damn it, there's no it's no use. I just don't know.
Rotate the image 180 degrees.
Huh? You rotate it? Think maybe I see something.
Oh my god. Now I see. She wrote down the killer's name.
Huh? You just shot past the clue part and right on to who did it. So, whose name did she write?
Sayaka's dying message reveals the real killer's name. If you turn her message 180 degrees, it should be crystal clear. No, not him.
Here's my answer. The key to solving this mystery was simply to rotate the writing 180 degrees.
Oh god.
If you turn the message around, it becomes the letters L-E-O-N. L-E-O-N. Or more accurately, Leon.
What the hell are you talking about? It's just a coincidence. It's just a bunch of random squiggles that happen to look like my name.
You do look like a bit hungry, if that indeed is just your name.
No, it's not random at all. She wrote that message on the wall behind her as she was leaning up against it. In that position, she couldn't move to write normally, and had to write upside down, as it were. And as a result, when you look at it standing in front of her, it ends up getting flipped. Try it for yourself if you want. Write something sitting like her, and the letters will be inverted.
That sounds like one hell of a stretch to me. I'm the killer? You can't just go and say shit like that.
If you're not the killer, then why did you try to destroy the evidence?
Huh?
You know what I'm talking about, right, Makoto? The evidence Leon tried to get rid of?
The evidence that Leon tried to get rid of, it's that thing I found on the ground in front of the incinerator, right? Oh, it's the burnt shirt piece.
I got it! You mean the burnt shirt piece I found laying on the ground by the incinerator, right?
As the killer stabbed Sayaka, they must have gotten some of her blood on them. And to dispose of the shirt covered in the victim's blood, they threw it into the incinerator.
But one piece burned off and got left behind.
And the killer didn't notice. If they had, they most certainly would have panicked. Isn't that right, Leon?
But is one scrap of fabric enough to conclude that Leon is guilty?
Yeah, I mean, Leon's not the only one wearing a white button.
I mean,
That's right. There are plenty of other people here with shirts like mine.
not really.
With just that one little charred piece, there's no way you can say for sure who it belongs to.
You're right. That alone isn't enough. But there are some other points that may reveal the truth.
Are you finally starting to understand? The answers to all the riddles are right here.
Yeah, I think so.
The burnt remains of the button-up shirt, which the killer wasn't able to get rid of. There's something about it we need to pay attention to in order to figure out who's responsible. Where doesn't matter. When doesn't matter either. How? I guess?
I got it! If you look closely at how the shirt was disposed of, we should be able to figure out who the killer is.
Oh yeah, that's a good point. I think I know what you're gonna say. You can't reach the incinerator without opening the gate in front of the trash room, right? And obviously, you wouldn't be able to hit the switch to turn it on either. You'd need the key to get in, and the one with the key was the person on cleaning duty.
He's not wrong.
So the killer had to be whoever was in charge of taking care of the trash, right?
Interesting.
No, that's wrong. There was another way to use the incinerator without being the one on cleaning duty. That's exactly why it proves that Leon's the real killer. Shattered crystal ball. Oh, they could have hit the switch like that. I see.
The key to the trash room. Whoever was on cleaning duty must have had it, right?
So the only one who could get to the incinerator was the person in charge of the trash?
And you'd have to get close to the incinerator in order to destroy the evidence. Which means the only possible suspect is whoever had the trash room key.
Okay, so the person who would have had the trash room key was... Huh? Me? No!
This absolutely was the way.
The key to the trash room.
Whoever was on clean.
So the only one, the person...
And you'd have to get
No,
close to the incinerator.
not really.
No, that's wrong.
I mean, Leon is the ultimate baseball star, so...
Hold on. I think I know how someone could dispose of the evidence without using the trash room key.
But if you can't get past the gate, you couldn't possibly turn on the incinerator, could you?
Yes, you could. If you used this.
What is it, some kind of glass ball? It's busted to hell.
Actually, it was supposed to be a crystal ball,
But how would you use it?
You could have had to use the glass ball in a certain way, which was defined with it. Roll it, throw it, of course. It's over 30 feet, so it has to be...
took aim at the incinerator switch and threw the ball through a gap in the
I
gate.
forgot what I was saying. Feels bad.
All they had to do was hit that switch, and the incinerator would come to life.
Someone threw a gap in the gate?
Remember what you said before, Hifumi?
Huh? Someone turned the incinerator on. Very strange. I'm quite certain it was Alpha's time I was down here. Perhaps it was the work of a fairy.
Hifumi had the key, so the only way the incinerator could have been turned on without his knowledge was because the killer was able to hit the switch without opening the gate. Once they got the incinerator going, All they had to do was ball up the shirt and toss it in.
Hey, come on! What the hell is this?
All you have to do is look at the scene to know that the killer never actually went inside the trash room. The shards of broken glass, the incinerator left running, the piece of shirt that escaped the fire. If the killer had been on cleaning duty, the evidence would have been taken care of much more thoroughly.
Wait, no, just hold on.
I mean, that she has a point. Kyoko has a point.
But the distance from the gate to the incinerator has to be at least 30 feet, right? The pinpoint accuracy you'd need to throw a glass ball that far and hit something that small. Could someone really do that?
That's right. There's no way. It'd be impossible.
Difficult, absolutely. Impossible? I don't think so. Because the killer is...
It would have been much of a challenge at all for the killer because he's the ultimate baseball star.
I got it! Because the killer is the ultimate baseball star. Isn't that right, Leon?
Do you have any idea how stupid you sound right now?
A target 30 feet away would surely be little challenge for the ultimate baseball star.
You can't be serious. I'm not the killer!
You sure about that?
These goddamn shipper brains have got it all wrong, I'm telling you!
You still won't admit it? Okay then. Makoto, go ahead and review the incident one more time to make his crime perfectly clear. And with that, we can end this.
Listen to me! What the hell do you mean, end this?
Say what you want, Leon. But all the questions have been answered, and the truth has been revealed. Now here's what happened.
Closing arguments about to begin. Yes, I need to know about it. The case has one last element to bring the class trial to an end. This is a closing argument. In this phase, you'll give a complete summary of the case. Oh no, I have a bad memory. You'll have to reproduce the flow of events for the case in the form of a comic book. However, you'll notice that in comic there are a number of pieces missing. It's up to you to complete the comic using the provided truth panels. Also, if you take aim at a missing section and press the left mouse button, holy cow, you get a hit that might lead to a breakthrough. Okay, well then, good luck and have fun. Closing argument. Let's go. My room was the scene of a crime. The accident began when the killer entered. When they entered, right? So it has to be this panel. I know. Then Sayaka tried to attack the killer with a knife. They noticed something in my room. Has to be this. They use that object to deflect Sayaka's attack, which is why that evidence was damaged. Okay, next. Third panel. After the killer countered Sayaka's attack with an attack of their own, what did they do next? The knife drop. The knife drop is here. It's the C. Has to be this. They forced the bathroom door open. The only logical way they could have done that was to use a screwdriver, I guess. Then they picked up the knife, killed Sayaka. She was stabbed, so they used the last of her strength to leave something behind. This. Okay, next is can I use an item in my room to help dispose of evidence? This must be this. next is the projector through to activate the incinerator must have been the crystal ball. And they balled the shit up, then threw it into the incinerator. But what they didn't know is that one piece of the shit burns and is left behind. Okay.
The killer is you!
Okay, let's hope I got everything right.
I think I'd better take one more look back at the case from the beginning. Last night, the killer went to the room Sayaka was in. In other words, my room. From what we can tell, Sayaka invited that person there intending to kill them. She attacked them with the knife she'd taken from the kitchen earlier. But then something happened that she wasn't prepared for. They grabbed the fake sword I put in my room and fought back. During the struggle, a strike from the sword broke Sayaka's right wrist. And that's when she lost her grip on the kitchen knife. Finding herself cornered, Sayaka panicked and ran into the bathroom. The killer went after her, but couldn't get the bathroom door open. What they didn't know was that my bathroom door got stuck easily, and there was a trick to opening it. Sayaka knew about that because I told her, but of course the killer had no way of knowing. So instead, the killer forced the door open, took the kitchen knife, and stabbed Sayaka. But with what strength she had remaining, Sayaka left a dying message. To keep the killer from noticing, she wrote it on the wall behind her. And with that, all her strength was gone. With Sayaka dead, the killer quickly began destroying the evidence. First, they took off their shirt, which was covered in their victim's blood. Then they took the lint roller in my room and cleaned up the entire area. They wanted to make sure they got rid of any trace they'd ever been there. Afterwards, the killer headed to the trash room to destroy their bloody shirt. They tried to burn the shirt using the incinerator there. But the trash room was blocked off by an especially sturdy gate, preventing access to the incinerator. So they came up with a plan to use Hero's crystal ball, which he left in the laundry room. The killer managed to throw the ball through the gap in the gate and hit the incinerator switch. For any normal person, that'd be an impossible throw, but the killer had the confidence to take a shot. And that's because the killer was the ultimate baseball star. The crystal ball, thrown with absolute precision, hit the switch on the incinerator, which then quickly roared to life. Having destroyed the final piece of evidence, they left the area with, I imagine, a sigh of relief. But there was one thing they missed. Part of the shirt they'd thrown into the fire burnt away and fell out of the incinerator. the killer didn't notice this, and so left behind a piece of indisputable evidence. Isn't that right, Leon? It would appear that Hero simply forgot his crystal ball in the laundry room. You went there to try and wash the blood out of your shirt, and that's where you saw it, right? Seeing the ball, you thought of a way to take care of everything.
So, Leon, do you object to anything that's been said?
Do I object? Hell yes, I object! Of course I do! I object! I object!
Oh man, it seems like it's not over yet.
I mean, all of this is just a bunch of stupid theories! You need evidence! Where's the evidence? Without evidence, it's all bullshit! It's bullshit and I refuse to acknowledge it!
Well then, I guess this is as good a time as any to present the evidence that proves you did it. Makoto, I believe you're in possession of that evidence.
Am I? I have the evidence. First bullet time battle is about to begin. Yes. Sometimes during a class trial, your opponent simply want to hear what you have to say. When this happens, you will engage them in a head-to-head battle. We like to refer to this as a bullet time battle, aka the BTB, by the way. During the BTB, you want to destroy your opponent's statements in time with the rhythm. Rhythm game moment. Boggers, is this us? Match your button presses with each tempo marker as they move across the screen and reach the center. Press the right mouse button to lock on to an opponent's statement. Destroy the statement you've locked onto with the left mouse button as the tempo mark reaches the center. Split the third of the damage to the opponent. If you can pull it off, you'll be the one in pain. Do this consecutively and you'll start a combo. Keep this going and you'll initiate the tempo up. On the flip side, if you keep missing, you'll get into a tempo down situation. When the tempo down changes, so there's a timing for each eating each button. So watch out for that. Okay. Deal enough damage to your opponent and their weak spot statement will appear. At that point, you can press the left mouse button to shoot it down with the truth bullet, like any other statement. Shoot the statement fast enough and you'll come out victorious, but just like before, if your influence gauge reaches 0, you run out of time, you'll fail. Well, and good luck. Oh boy, that sounds easy but also complicated.
When the screws from the doorknob, they didn't use anything from your room to do it. Instead, they must have used something that belonged to them.
They used something of their own to remove the screws. Could it have been?
I refuse to acknowledge you! You're stupid! Stupid, stupid, stupid! Stupid, 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 stupid!
I have to show indisputable evidence that Leon's a killer. I need to figure it out. Alright, let's do this.
Where's your proof? You kidding me? Not a chance! It wasn't me! Stupid! You lie! Stop talking! Shut up! Where's your proof? You kidding me? Not a chance! You lie! Shut up! Where's your proof? You kidding me? Not a chance! It wasn't me!
Oh, he's already dead. Okay.
Where's your
so
proof?
good.
This should prove it. The screws on the bathroom doorknob were removed. I wonder what kind of tool the killer used to remove them.
I mean, it had to be a screwdriver, right?
Has to be a screwdriver.
Oh yeah, I'm pretty sure the toolkits we got each had one inside.
That must be what he used. There aren't any other tools anywhere.
But the toolkit in my room had clearly never been used.
That's because the culprit didn't know it was your room. They thought they were in Sayaka's room.
Only the boys got toolkits, so the killer naturally assumed there wouldn't be one in there.
Okay, then whose toolkit did the killer use?
Stupid, stupid, stupid!
It had to be their very own toolkit.
Stupid, 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 stupid!
Okay.
Leon, would you mind showing us your toolkit? If I'm right about this, then the screwdriver will show some evidence of being used.
Stupid, stupid, stupid! Huh?
And if you say you used it for something else, you'll have to explain exactly when, where, and why.
And let me say this right now. I lost it isn't an excuse at this point.
Stupid. Stupid.
Seems like he will defeat, I guess. Oh god, what is this?
So, you have no rebuttal?
Then it would seem we are finished here.
Oh boy. Mental breakdown. Or we get raided for this? Hey, Poggers. Got coins for it. Another Pog Champions. Got an achievement for that.
Looks like you've reached your verdict. Then are
I'll
we
check it
ready
out
to
later.
cast our votes? You all have a lever in front of you. Use it to make your selection. Oh, just to remind you all, make triple sure you vote for someone. You wouldn't want to be punished for something so minor, right? Okay, then let's get excited!
I'm not sure I'm too excited about this.
Who will be chosen as the Blackened? Will you make the right choice or the dreadfully wrong one? What's it gonna be? What's it gonna be?
Still, I have to say this is a very creative murder case. Looks like you got it right on the money. Blackened, in this case, the one that killed Sayaka, was none other than Leon Kuwata.
Huh? Hey, hold on.
Hold on a second. Leon, did you really kill Sayaka?
But
I don't believe it.
You son of a bitch!
What the hell is wrong with you?
I didn't have a choice.
It was kill or be killed.
So, that's why...
I killed her first. Man.
None of you are any different!
One wrong step and you'd be the one standing here. It was complete chance that I wound up like this.
I was just unlucky. That's all.
Hey, come on!
Do you expect me to just accept my death? Everything's become clear. The decision we made was right after all. When I think about that, honestly, I'd be better off if we'd been wrong. Because if what we came up with is the truth, then that truth is that Sayaka was trying to frame me. But even if that's true, I can't say she was wrong. After all, the mastermind, it's all because of that video. Even I couldn't handle what I saw in there. Was if I was her, in the video actually had something to do with me, can't even imagine. Now we're trapped here with no way out. They're probably waiting for me. can't afford to be stuck in here. The one thing that was more important to her than anything else, her dreams, her friends. To have to see something like that happen to them. And Sayaka. I did whatever it took to reach that dream. I mean it, even if some things that weren't so pleasant. And that's why Sayaka, for the friends that meant so much to her, that's why she betrayed me. So when she said,
No matter what happens, please always be there for me. I need you on my side.
she played Makoto so well, holy. She was lying to me from the very beginning. She was using me. Is that why she talked to me in the first place? I guess I'll never know. Because there's nothing I can do to ask her what she was thinking. Once you're dead, that's that. My howdy, the entertainment industry must sure be terrifying, huh? What's it mean? I mean, to try and kill someone just because of those relationships.
Ba-bum, ba-bum.
She seemed so nice and lovely on the outside, but inside, she had descended into pure madness. I mean, he's not wrong to go ahead and try to kill someone. It's, you actually have to be pushed on the edge, or to the edge. I don't know. What did you say?
Phew.
I understand. Really, I do. Yup. You're in utter despair, thanks to Sayaka's betrayal, right? Compassion, intimacy, love. The stronger those feelings, the stronger the despair and the collapse. Yeah, I guess. Stop screwing with us. This is all your fault. Sayaka being forced to do something like that. All of it, everything. It's all your fault. Suddenly in a frenzy along that Monokuma. But
That's enough.
as angry as I was, Kyoko latched onto my arm without hesitation. Her grip was like iron, strong enough I was sure it would leave a bruise.
Calm down.
If you really want to make her enemies pay for what they've done, you need to let it go for now. Yeah, we're gonna find who is all behind this and make them pay for it, I guess. But damn, this game is cool. This is only like the 8th, I think I'm on the 8th hour of playing this. And I feel like I'm really enjoying myself.
Ba-bum, ba-bum.
Ah, that was a close one. I thought for sure you were gonna give me a good wall opening. Just barely avoided punishment, you did.
Yes, indeed.
Now then, since you so magnificently revealed the identity of the killer during the class trial, the blackened Leon Kuwara will receive his punishment. Oh my god, no, please no.
Punishment? You mean execution?
Wait a second!
I didn't have a choice, I had to kill her.
Yeah, that's it.
I was just protecting myself in the heat of the moment. It was self-defense.
Is that a thing?
How exactly was it self-defense? When you forced your way into the bathroom, did you or did you not use your very own toolkit? Yeah, the fact he forced his way into the bathroom shows that he had an intent to kill as well. Because if he had not, he would have just simply like went away. If you don't want to kill someone, you just go away, I guess. In a setup where you could kill someone, that is. After she shut herself in the bathroom, you went out of your way to head back to your own room. Then you came all the way back, broke into the bathroom and killed her. Am I wrong?
Do you understand?
You had any number of chances to stop what you were doing, but you choose not to. Is it not because you had the clouded intent to commit murder?
So, that's why...
No, that's not. Stop it. I've had enough of this.
Oh.
Oh, are you sure? You were closer to her than anyone, were you not? He killed your precious Saika, do you understand? I can't say Leon's solely to blame. Of course I don't plan on blaming Saika either. Because one to blame is him. Why? If it weren't for you, this never would have happened to Saika or Leon. We shouldn't be fighting each other. We should be fighting against the one who put us in this situation, the mastermind. Uh-oh, did you awaken to your sense of justice?
Hey,
Well, it just so happens that there's nothing more unethical, I think it's unethical, than an unwavering sense of justice. After all, it's people with that sort of mentality that perpetuate war all over the world. Is that the kind of justice that's awakened within you? Just shut up! Well, okay, anyway. More importantly...
Thrills! Chills! Kills!
Let's hurry up and get to what everyone's been waiting for, the punishment.
I'm begging you! Please! Don't do this!
Oh my god, he sounds so... honest. I mean... as in... he really didn't mean to, but at the same time he still did it, so...
hey, come on now.
No more begging, no more excuses, you must pay the penalty for breaking the rules. Society demands it.
Stop! Please!
Now then, I prepared a very special punishment.
For Leon Quota, the ultimate baseball star.
No, 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 no!
Let's give it everything we've got. It's punishment time.
Oh god.
No!
Game over, Leon has been found guilty. Time for the punishment. Oh jeez. Oh my god. That alone should have killed him, I think. Is that a Gatling gun? The 10,000 blows. Oh. Oh my god! What the fuck? Jesus. Well, that's the punishment. Oh my god. That is brutal, I have to say. What we saw, that was the true face of despair. Oh my god. I mean, if we can't call it that, what else could we call it?
Extreme.
I am actually sweating from that. This is very nerve-wracking. My adrenaline is pumping right out of control. Inhuman noises. What's going on? I'm myself very confused.
I can't take it.
Can't take this anymore. Me neither. Do we really have to keep doing this? I just can't take it.
Well?
Well, hey, if you don't like it, all you gotta do is swear to cut all ties with the outside world and accept living here forever. But that's only if every single one of you can get on board with that.
Damn you!
Man, fuck you. What the fuck are you doing all this evil shit to us?
What the heck?
Evil? You're making it sound like I'm some dark, awful, secret society type of guy.
Say what?
Or in this case, a dark, awful, secret society type of bear.
Well...
So why are you putting an upstanding young citizen like me through such a crawling ordeal?
Hey,
It's like you're trying to use common sense to make sense of something that doesn't make sense. That's, confusing. That's like trying to put a mile on scale. I just don't think that's possible. Mile on scale? Okay. Hey, I don't think what you're saying and what I'm saying fit quite together. Quite fit together. You piece of shit. I don't know who you are, but I'm gonna pound your ass into the ground. You must really hate me to get so angry, huh? But if you do that, you're barking way up the wrong tree. What happened because more than one of you decided you wanted to get out, right? No matter how much time passes, you can't get free of your regrets from the outside world. You're to blame. Of course we can't cut free of the outside world, being trapped in this insane place. You're trapped, aren't you? Well, I'm sure once you learn all the mysteries of this school, your thinking will change for sure. You'll think, boy, isn't it wonderful how we all get to live here forever? Whoops, I got a good goosebump. Sorry.
What does this mean?
What are you trying to say?
Hey,
I feel like there's some deeper meaning hidden in there. Just like before.
Thrills, chills, kills!
Anyway, let's get to the Black Punishment. That's what everyone in yellow is waiting for, after all.
hey,
When you say everyone, who exactly are you referring to? Sorry, I said everything I got to say. I need to save some of the fun for later. And just like that, he was gone. He left us there, overwhelmed by a nightmare turned reality. Oh my god. Even after he was gone, we stood there forever, unable to move. Actually, no, it wasn't that long, I think. Everyone just lost their sense of time. We were all too scared. Understandable. Scared of being alone. Scared of being betrayed as well. Inhuman anime boy noises. Part 2. Part 3, except she's a girl. No one even tried to speak. Their faces were stone, their voices dead. But it wasn't that moment.
just a second.
Makoto, can I talk to you for a second? She moved in close and whispered into my ear.
Makoto.
Before we head back, there's something I want to talk to you about. It's about Saika, isn't it? I'm surprised you figured it out. I mean, isn't it obvious?
Listen,
I told you before the class started. You had to figure out the mystery of this case yourself. You wanted me to realize how Saika betrayed me by myself, didn't you? The thought never even crossed my mind. I feel like such a fool becoming such an easy target like that.
it's true.
Saika meant to double cross you. That's a fact that you can never change. But even till the very end, she wasn't sure of her decision. That's why, as she lay dying, she was thinking of you. She was thinking of me? You can't just say something like that. I mean, there's no way you can know that. Only Saika would know for sure, and we can't ask her now.
However,
Even if you can't ask her, you can infer it, don't you think? A final thought was how she could protect you. What?
so...
The fact that she used her last ounce of energy to leave out a dying message proves it. Yeah, I guess. If she didn't care what happened to you, she never would have left that message. Well, maybe she just wanted to get back at the person who had killed her.
Certainly.
That's only one possibility, but I don't think that's what it was.
Anyway...
She was uncertain. She wasn't sure she could kill someone or deceive you, which is why her plan failed. Her hesitation attracted failure.
Right.
It's almost ironic when you think about it. Why are you telling me all this? Because you're the kind of person who can overcome this. Kodo has to stay strong, bro. Because you can move past the death of your friends, Saika and Leon. Junko gets ignored, feels bad man, and keep moving forward. Yes.
Correct.
Without someone like that, the others would never be able to break free of such a desperate situation. Move past their death? I could never do that. No, I'm going to carry them with me the rest of my life. How could I possibly move past something like that? Leon, Saika, I'll carry them with me forever. I'll carry their memories with me wherever I go. That's very brave of you, Makoto. So instead of forgetting them, you're choosing the old road. Well, I have high expectations for you. As she said that, she revealed the smallest smile.
Hey.
By the way, I have to admit, I'm curious. How did you know I wanted to talk to you about Saika? Oh well, I'm psychic. Why? Why did I know he would say that?
What?
Huh? Kidding, I just have pretty good intuition. Classic. Chapter 1 to survive. The end. Oh boy, that's that was a wild chapter 1 to begin to kick off the bundle with. Yeah, because I plan to play the whole bundle, Steam bundle 1, 2, and 3, and with 3 on stream. And I think I'll also upload to YouTube the videos. I'm not sure about it yet. Might do that. You received a despair bad present. How ironic. Yes. Let's save into the empty slot too. In case I wanna play the trial once again. And we're into chapter 2. Anyway. It's night time. Yeah, everything has been clean. The heck? How could... I mean, okay. How could you possibly clean everything, every damage that's been done to the room? Like, the bed was not destroyed, but very damaged. So were the walls. The storage isn't even here anymore. And I think the bathroom frame has been... I mean, the bathroom door has been cleaned. It's gone. She really is gone. It's almost like there was never anything here to begin with. Every last sign of Psycho's existence has disappeared without a trace. It's just like he said. After the class trial, before we took the elevator back up, Monokuma told us. Oh, I almost forgot. Since the class trial is over, I'll go ahead and dispose of all the corpses.
What are you gonna do?
It's okay, no need to thank me. Just seeing your delighted, smiling face is thanks enough for me. After all, nobody wants to look at the rotting corpse every day. That can't be good for your health. I didn't have time to mourn Saika and Junko's death. I'm sure that's exactly why he did it. It's a bad joke, a sickening dream, but I have to accept the reality of it all. I headed back to the dining hall to meet up with the others. Sorry I'm late.
So,
Hey, are you okay, Makoto?
Listen to me!
You sure took your sweet time. I was just about to go get you and drag you back here. Sorry. So, what happened? Was your room fixed up like you said? I imagine it would be pretty hard to sleep with a rotting corpse in your bathroom.
Hey, come on.
Jesus, that's fucked up, man. Why would you say something like that? My room was spotless. There wasn't anything left. Like the whole thing never happened.
I see.
Must be tough staying here, knowing what happened. Why don't you just stay in Saika's room? Well, staying there with her scent still hanging in the air, that would hurt just as much. I don't know. Plus, I've decided that I can't turn away from her death. Makoto. Hey, cheer up. Getting depressed isn't gonna help anything, right? Man, Hina is cheerful. If we all work together, I'm sure we'll find a way out of here.
You got it!
So everyone just try and cheer up and get back on track. Is that honestly supposed to make us feel better? Oh no, come on, edgelord. Huh? We were already working together and yet someone was still murdered. Anyone could betray us at this point. Now that it's happened once, it's a question of when, not if, the next one takes place. Yeah, because Saika made the first move.
Well...
But if you work together against the mastermind, nobody will have any reason to do something like that.
Stop talking.
Keep telling yourself that. I'll be over here in the real world. Working together, fighting a common enemy. Like it or not, it's not that simple. What do you mean?
Are you okay with this?
The mastermind seems to be much more powerful than we ever suspected. They took over Hope's Peak, which was supposed to be well defended, and then modified it to fit that desire. They created Monokuma, which seems to be incredibly advanced, and they're providing for our every need. And the cherry on top is the execution we witnessed.
Honestly.
Everything has been planned down to the last excruciating detail. This is not the work of your everyday psychopath. Defying them may be too great of a risk.
So
then what are we supposed to do? Anyone who truly does want to escape, we just have to follow the rules. In which case, the only option is to deceive those around you and win the game.
No.
What?
No whites.
I
don't want to
can't
leave.
take it.
If it means killing someone else to do it. I don't want to kill anyone else.
Huh?
Anyone else? What do you mean?
It's because...
Leon died because we all voted for him, right? It's no different from us killing him ourselves. That's kind of a reverse psychology, but I kind of understand.
But
So,
If we hadn't voted for him, then we all would have died instead, right? This isn't what you want, is it?
So it would seem.
She's right. If you heap that kind of blame on yourself, you'll turn into a full-fledged masochist. Ah, why? Like, so far, Hifumi is like killing all the moods and stuff that everyone's trying to build up. I don't really like him as a character so far. I hope he will get some development later into the game. I hope he will. I really do. Chihiro, listen. You're not to blame. Not you, not Leon, and not Sayaka. The mastermind is responsible for everything that's happened. We had no choice but to vote. Can't even imagine what would have happened to us if we had refused. And in the end, it was Monokuma who ultimately killed Leon. So don't waste your anger on yourself. Instead, direct it at the mastermind. I mean, we don't even know who he is. Should be a nighttime announcement.
This is a school announcement. It is now 10 p.m. As such, it is officially nighttime. Soon the doors to the dining hall will be locked, and entry at that point is strictly prohibited. Oh, and one other thing.
Uh-oh.
It was totally obvious before that you were trying to make yourselves feel better and justify what you did.
Oh my god, Monokuma is like second mood breaker into the game.
See you, don't see you, see you. That's about how much I can see you, even when you try to hide. Now pay attention and remember this well. The burden of judging others is a heavy one to bear, so be well aware of your actions.
He's right though.
Order and stability rely on the sacrifice and responsibility of everyone. Okay then, sweet dreams everyone. Good night, sleep tight. Don't let the bed bugs bite.
What was that about just now? Was this saying well, it's all fault that happened? That's pretty cruel, man.
Don't fuck with me.
That piece of shit, who does he think he is? The mastermind, perhaps? And so the day drew to a close. A tense, maddening day that saw the death of 3 classmates, Sayaka, Junko, and Leon. But this is just the beginning. All despair has only just begun. Was Life of Despair. I woke up the next day to Murakuma's normal morning announcement. Then he called us all to the gym. What's he gonna do to us this time? We're practically frozen with fear. But Murokuma was determined to get us involved in his little game. And with that goal in mind, he began it. What's it?
Okay, lift your arms up and down.
What is this?
1, 2, 3, 4.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Of course, he's the one who do it.
Now reach way up and bend way down. Tighten those muscles. Let's add a little strength, a little speed to those young bodies of yours.
I have to say the background music is very relaxing. But the atmosphere the students must be in, they are in this atmosphere it's probably nerve-wracking. Doesn't this feel just great? Being stuck inside like this, you gotta make sure to stay healthy. You're the one keeping us stuck inside. Don't sweat the small stuff, that's Momoto. Oh, I sounded pretty cool just now, don't you think? Did you fall in love with me? Am I just to die for? Am I just to die in with everything? Writhing agony for? So, why did you call us here? Certainly it wasn't just to make us exercise. Just to make you exercise? Just to make you exercise?
Hey!
If exercise makes you laugh, exercise will make you cry. Now, if you keep doing these exercises, you will uncover the secret of the Assassin's Fist. Passed down from generation to generation in the Empire of Darkness. The power can be yours. That sounds like the kind of junk a middle schooler would come up with. Doesn't matter, just get to the point. Did you really call us down here just to exercise?
Hey,
Of course not, you think I have that kind of free time on my hands? Okay, so then... I'd like to make an announcement. Every time you overcome a cross trial here at Hope's Peak, a whole new world will open up to you.
What the heck?
A whole new world?
You guys?
It's really suck if you guys had to live here forever with nothing new to stimulate you. Besides, I know how you kids get these days with your ADD and ADHD. I gotta keep you motivated.
Very nice.
So go ahead, look around all you want. Enjoy the brave new post-trial world till you explode. Was that just for this? With that, Monokuma disappeared, leaving us even more confused than when he showed up. He'd shown up. But a new world?
Could it be?
He's talking about a way to get outside?
I wonder about that.
That seems unlikely.
Piece of shit!
Well, we don't know till we look.
Hey,
Whatever he meant, it seems we'll have to search the school one more time.
You hear me?
Okay, then let's split up and start investigating. When you're done, everyone meet back up at the dining hall and we'll share what we found. You're basically one trick pony, you know that?
Got it!
More like a staple food source, not let's get moving. Poggers. Seeing his words at the signal, everyone scattered and left the gym. Well. I guess it's time for me to end the stream because it is almost 2 AM. So I'm gonna go now. I'll just head back to my room if I can. I'll just stop in the hallway. I might want to talk to Yasuhiro later into the game, so I'll just save here and I'll stop the stream here. So thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time, I guess.